Hey everybody, it's the Colts. This is Madden football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, no precipitation to speak of, but still a very chilly December day in Philly. Winter coats and hot chocolate abound here at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Wentz now to throw. And Philip Dorsett holds it in. Philip Dorsett by himself. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Philip Dorsett, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 109 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there. But they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jones, open target here, Darius Slayton. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
What we got?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 33.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. To throw is Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to her. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Wentz now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Well, a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here because we missed out talking about these guys on the opening drive because they were in the end zone before we had a chance to even say anything. But let's keep an eye on these wideouts. QB already has 1 touchdown pass. You know he's looking for a few more before this one's over. Those wideouts will get plenty of opportunities to try and score again.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan.
Pick 6, baby. Let's get this all day.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know. What you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber. Ready?
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. This is Shepard on the catch. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll try to run forward Barkley. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
On 2nd and a couple. Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st and 10, Jones. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
40 seconds to Mike. Down to lose one. Hey, box truck.
Throwing on 1st down. Jones. He completes it to Tate. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Tate bringing it in for the Giant touchdown. Golden Tate, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Wentz on the give to Sanders, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
53 is the mark. Watch the run. Watch the run. Check. Check out route. Greystone, travel.
On 1st down, Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Jones on 3rd down. And Tate's got it. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run with Barkley. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Now Jones. He's got his man. This is Tate. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards and a giant 1st down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
53 is the mic. 53. Check 53. Hey, watch the slant.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Recon, 152 fighter. Hey, lock it.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. And Jeffrey's got it. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Now it's Tate. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Flush to his right. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Here we go, set, 10-2 stop.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Ready?
Here's Jones throwing on first down, buying time to his left. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This is a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Rosas' kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And it's a short kick taken out beyond the 20.
Come on, fellas.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, Let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. The Panthers trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, let's head to New Jersey. The Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Andrew Luck has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they've gone to the half, all even at 14 apiece. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Check. Out. Check 52. 80 weapon. Check. Kill. Turn up. Hey. Shoot.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Jones on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
After the sack on first down, Jones. That's complete to Slayton. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down.
Let's bring it.
A handoff to Barkley. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Throwing Jones. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And he'll be out of bounds. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half. just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They go play action here on first down. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. It's the fullback. His second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. What a great drive that was. A long drive, sustained, well executed. I
love what we're seeing out of him here in year 2, right? This young quarterback continues to evolve and grow. He's really the adage right now that John Wooden, the famous basketball coach, used to say. Be quick, but don't hurry. You can see that everything is happening for him, but he's not taking it at a pace that he can't sustain.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Throwing on first is Wentz. But he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 24. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw, it's Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
It's fourth down.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Jones. Throwing left side, it's complete. 23 yards the pickup there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a first carry for their fullback. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
On the ready.
53, Mike.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Jones now on 1st and 10. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Watch the eye.
Go.
53,
Go.
On 2nd down, Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Hey, Team 6. Down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones got a man, Slayton. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. So they go play action, 3 tight ends out there in the heavy set.
Well, they showed everything that suggested running play. Just what you mentioned, 3 tight ends, heavy formation, able to go play action off of it, because if you're a defender, you're thinking it's a running play with that much beef on the field.
But they passed it, and they got 6 out of it. Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd and 12, Wentz. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The New York set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Mike, come on, baby, come on, let's go.
Now Gallman. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Now Jones throwing on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
He'll buy some time right. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Under 10, 10. Showing it.
Get it.
On first down, Barkley. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Steps away to his left, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. That is caught at the 7. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
So it's challenge time. The referee's tablet coming out, and the big question, Charles, did that football break the plane to the goal line?
They just need any part of the ball to cross the goal line in order for it to count. Remember, it's got to be indisputable, though. Sometimes we think it's going to be there. We can't really find it on the tablet. So we'll see what the final call is going to be.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley taking it in as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. PHI up and good by Rosas.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Wentz. Dorsett making the catch. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Right side caught by Jackson. Philadelphia picking up the 1st on a gain of 15. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw is Wentz. This short throw caught by Goddard. And they'll be inside the 35 now. The 34-yard line. I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 22-yard line. Wentz now on 1st down. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field. And
that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. But that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
23 yards on the play. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williamson. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Wentz now on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's Wentz to throw. The Sanders has got it complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Now Wentz again. And Jeffrey's got it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Go. 120.
Yeah. You don't want none.
What's this done?
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep. It's caught inside the 25. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.